Love our Mondays. Love coming back. Enjoy our weekends off, of course, but always look forward to being back with all of you, our wonderful morning offering, listening audience. And we bring you a special treat every Monday morning because we get to have a conversation with the only Father Mark Davis. Good morning, Father Mark. It's time for On the Mark with Father Mark.
Well, good morning, Dave and Pat and Ron. How are you guys?
Good. Great. How are you?
Good. I am enjoying my summer.
Good.
I can't believe it's already the 20th of July, but boy, I think I like the warmth, but it's the long days. It's just, I was with Father David Kidd and all the seminarians in Fremont, and there was a gathering of priests and seminarians. It was so nice to be on the patio and just hanging out. And, it's light till 9:30 or so. It's just tremendous.
And
I love summer. I hate bugs, though. I just can't handle the bugs. If I get any more bites, I don't know.
But also, to have that large group of seminarians now.
Whoa, yeah.
Nice to hang out with that big group
awesome.
on the porch. Yeah.
See, that's interesting, Pat. I don't think I felt any last night. Maybe I'm just sour enough they leave me alone. I don't know.
Oh, say, Pat, you must be like Eileen, sweet. All the bugs are attracted to her, none of them to me. So
no, the seminarians are there to shoo the bugs away.
That's part of their job now. Yeah.
There might have been some cigars, and that alone is like fumigation.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
That's funny. Hey, interesting gospel this weekend of the weeds and the wheat. We had our deacons preach really well this weekend, and Deacon Joe Kest told a story about an elderly couple, I think late 80s, early 90s, who seemed to have a little bit of a hard time as they get even older, remembering things. So they went to the doctor, and he sat down with them, and he suggested, it's your short-term memory, so it might really help you just to write things down, even short-term wise, to really help you. And I said, okay. So, the next night, they were watching television, and the husband gets up and says, hey, I'm going to go into the kitchen. Do you want anything? And she said, yeah, you know what? I'd really like a bowl of ice cream. And he said, okay, I got that. He said, well, hon, why don't you write it down? He says, I don't have to write down a bowl of ice cream. You get it all. You ask for it almost every night. I want vanilla. He said, yes, you always get vanilla. The chocolate and the strawberries for me. I said, okay, you want vanilla ice cream? It says, well, yeah, could you put some chocolate syrup on it? I said, hon, why don't you write it down? Look, I'm going to be able to remember chocolate syrup and vanilla ice cream. I get, well, hon, do you think you could put some strawberries on it? Well, of course. We have some strawberries in there, but hon, why don't you write it? I'm not going to write it. What about some whipped cream? That sounds great. Would you write it? No, I'm not going to write any of this down. You always get the same thing. I'll get you a bowl of vanilla ice cream, a little chocolate sauce, and whipped cream. I got it. Vanilla ice cream, whipped cream, chocolate sauce. And she says, oh, okay. You sure you don't want to write that? I got it. And so he's in the kitchen like 25 minutes. And when he comes back, he brings a steaming plate of bacon and eggs.
Oh, no.
And she's looking at the plate and looking at him and looking at the plate. I told you should have written things down. You can't remember things. You got to remember, where's my toast?
Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. That's ridiculous. Ron at AR Toledo. That is fantastic. Thank you, Father.
Now, at the end of his homily, he told another story, and it was almost like friends of that couple, but a little younger. And see, because they're still driving, and they were going on a trip, and they stopped for lunch, and then they kept on going on their trip. 20 minutes later, the wife realized that she left her glasses on the table, back at the restaurant. Oh my gosh, the husband lost it. Said, "What? I can't believe it. Seriously?" And then they had the hardest time finding a time on the highway. They have to go back, and he's complaining to her the whole time. "Why did you leave your glass? I can't believe it. Blah, 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 blah." So they get all the way back to the restaurant, over a half an hour later. He drops off, and she's about to get on. "I can't believe you left your glasses. Oh, by the way, when you're in there, get my credit card and my hat."
Yeah, that's why I never get too upset about stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, my. Yeah.
So this whole parable about the wheat and the weeds is that they look so much similar to one another, and they grow together. And Jesus cautions us not to pull up all the weeds indiscriminately, because we can take some of the wheat, the good, with it. Good and the bad in our lives, in ourselves, and in others grow together. And I think one thing that was really hitting me this weekend was that so often in our relationships with ourselves and others and God in the world, I think, at least in my life, it's so easy to concentrate and obsess so much on the weeds that I miss the wheat. And that even in those silly jokes, it's kind of like with each other, do we concentrate more on the positive or the negative? And is it true sometimes maybe that we, because of our choices of our thoughts, do we really think that we live, in a world of weeds where God's wheat and love and joy and hope is all around us? And really, there's more wheat than weeds in the world and in our lives. But what do we cultivate? Do we cultivate the wheat? Do we grow the wheat? Do we pay attention to the good, to what we're thankful for, to God's blessings and sunshine and longer days? Or do we constantly just obsess about the bugs, even when they're not there? No harm intended. Just as an example, do I concentrate on where God is and where the wheat is? Or do I always just think about the weeds? We're going to have both. Paul was pretty much probably channeling Jesus' living spirit. He wouldn't have been able, he had to have Jesus with him strongly. He never would have touched so many people and converted so many. And even he had a thorn in the flesh. We're going to have weeds in our lives. But do we concentrate so much on them in ourselves and other people and in life and in our relationship with God that we miss the wheat? So I think this is a good week, this 20th of July week, to be able to really ask God, where are you present, and help me be a grower and encourager of wheat in our lives and have patience with the weeds.
Love it, Father Mark. Thank you so much. Always giving us an encouraging word on our Monday mornings to give us fuel for the week.
And don't forget the toast.
I think I'd prefer the ice cream with the whipped cream, the strawberries, the chocolate. There was a list. I'd take it all.
There was a list. Yeah, just put anything you find. Yeah.
Right.
Father
Great
Mark
to be
Davis,
with you guys. Have a great week.
You
thank
too,
you so
Father.
much. Always on the mark today, no exception.